Yeah, in the past week at various points, it's looked like you could have brought in 3 different midfielders. So how does Endo compare to the other 2?
First of all, I'm very happy that we finally can announce we have an agreement with the club and the player, which is really cool. I'm absolutely happy about having Wataru in now. I am from Germany. I watch a lot of Bundesliga. I know him since he is at Stuttgart. I liked him pretty much from the start. When he started playing there, the little problem with this, I think it's like, if you want, a little bit of late bloomer. And usually for us, for the way our owners see it, he was already too old when he joined Stuttgart. But I obviously have a different view on that, and I said always liked him. Yes, and the last week was obviously a tricky one, no doubt about that. But that's when you have a problem, you can stick to the problem or you find a solution. I'm more than happy to have the solution. And comparing footballing wise, a similar profile, similar position, same position if you want, similar profile. A really good footballer. I think he's 5'10", but probably jumps to the ceiling. It's not too difficult, but jumps to the ceiling. That's good in the air. Really good. In general defensive challenges, he loves it. Tactically, really smart, closing down the right gaps and players. Good football on top of that. Big heart, desire. There's a really good package, to be honest. So I'm really happy to have him.
Just on Caicedo and Lavia, though, what conversations did you have with them? Was it texts, phone calls, meetings? And is there a sense that you've been left with of feeling let down by them?
There's actually nothing to say about. As long as there's absolutely nothing to say about the transfers. The transfer business is like that. You talk to people, to players, to agents, whatever, clubs, and sometimes it works out and sometimes not. I think that's the general thing, how it works out, and there's nothing else to say about. From my point of view, I think all the things will be said in these kind of conversations. When and if you have them, they stay then between me and the specific other part. So nothing to say about that, really.
Just on any further activity in the transfer window, are you likely to still be active in the market? And I take it as well, you're not likely to lose any of your key players during this window either, because obviously there's been speculation linking Alisson with interest from Saudi Arabia as well.
The window is open, and until then, pretty much everything can happen. On the outgoing side, from my side, nothing will happen. But I learned in this window a lot of things, so we will see that. Incoming, still time, so let's have a look, and that's what we will do.
Just on the football side of things.
Thank you.
I don't think there was a bigger contrast last season. 9-0 at home, victory, 1-0 away defeat.
Oh, Bournemouth.
What are you expecting this time around against Bournemouth?
Yeah, something in between. So it's not one game, but I think the new manager stands for a specific style of play. If you did your research, you will find out that he could have found out that he's. It's no coincidence that the Bournemouth board thought about him and brought him in. He did an exceptional job in his last club with a pretty. Do you use the word unconventional? Is it? Yeah, like way. If you want. I like to use in the past very often the word organized chaos, but he obviously likes not only the word, so is organizing the chaos as well. So that's it's a tough one. So they will go for it. That's how they did in the first game. Now they will go for it. They will press us properly, and on top of that, they have an offensive approach. Yeah, if you let them play, they will play. If not, they have an idea how to get in behind the line. That's the idea they have. It's not the most complicated football idea, but it's a good one. And but it's the first home game. Maybe we should not forget that. For since a long time, to be honest, when you start a preseason, a lot of things you don't need immediately because you need the time to work on it. But the first home game is not one of them. It's really the one thing you cannot wait for, and that's exactly how it is. We missed Anfield, missed the atmosphere. As we know, there probably will ask about that as well. There are a few little problems, but there's still a wonderful stadium there, and all the rest will be sorted. And I'm pretty sure the people are excited as well and happy as well to see us again. And so let's use that as well. Yes, it's Premier League, and early in the season there are no favorites for nothing. It's just you have to be ready. You have to fight. You have to run. You have to play. You have to shoot. You have to tackle all these kind of things, and that's what I want to see.
Is Mo back to his usual smiley self this week after when he was substituted the other day? He didn't seem too happy about coming off against Chelsea.
That's now a week ago, isn't it? So I would say he's back to himself. He had a super training week. I think that's fair to say. Absolutely super training week. And I hope he can take that into the game. Besides that, nothing else to say. So I think this story was already directly after the game. And since then, nothing else happened.
You've been in the position yourself when you come into a brand new club and it's a new culture, and Iraola is having to do that this time around. How difficult is it to get a handle on a new team and a new culture and set your stall out to get the players doing exactly what you want to do?
I have no idea because I only can say how difficult it was for me. But that's nothing. That's me with my limits and all this kind of thing. So it took time for me. Of course, I came in the middle of the season, which is completely different to coming in at the end of a season or for the start of a new season. That's different, obviously, and I don't expect any kind of necessary adjustments from between Bournemouth and the league or the manager and the league and stuff like this. They are now together for 5, 6, 7 weeks. I don't know exactly, and that's long enough, definitely long enough to get used to each other. And that's no advantage, no disadvantage. That's just a fact.
Mike?
Yeah, again, some good contributions last week from both of your debutants in midfield, Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister. How do you think they, in particular, can benefit from your new signing, Endo, given he'll be able to play in a defensive role where Alexis had to fill in for the most part last week in that with his not his best position?
It is in moments his best position. In moments, I mean, possession, that's it for sure, is cool for him. But let's go back to the start of your question, maybe. First and foremost, both help us a lot, and they did in that game. I think Dom was especially impressive physically, how his work rate until the last second was immense. To be honest, I didn't expect that. It's the first game of the season, you know, the players feel that much more. The most important session in the whole preseason so far was the game against Chelsea because of all the different things. And being there on that kind of intense level like he was until the last second is pretty special. And then you have on the other side of Maka with a really fine foot, finding small spaces, finding bigger spaces, being a real creator of whatever you want. That's really helpful, but with a really, really good defensive game as well. Our problems didn't come from the position of Maka or whatever, or that rather offensive-orientated players on the six, so nothing to do with it. We didn't play enough football. That was our problem. We got into a rush after the equalizer, and they scored a second goal pretty quick after each other, so that you could realize that we were not settled enough in the way we want to play. I think that's not too surprising because it's just after preseason you always have that problem a little bit, but then if the game goes perfectly well in the right direction, it's good for that game. It's not that good for the game after, because then you think you sorted already everything and you have these problems a little bit later. So what we lacked in that game was rhythm, especially in possession. We had 35% possession, which is an absolute joke. It should not happen. So there's no game I can imagine. It can happen against City on a special day, and if it's an idea to do it a little bit like that, to sit a bit deeper or whatever, it's not our idea for that game, but it happened just because we were with the ball too much in a rush. So, and in that game, the two did a really good job that helped us. And now we have the problem. What we have in the moment a little bit is now, Endo is now in, and he's allowed to train this afternoon. If he's allowed to participate in the game tomorrow, I don't know. We will see that. On top of that, Stefan Bajcetic, really close, but not there yet. Obviously, we really count on him. Thiago Alcantara, same, slightly similar profile, obviously much more experienced as well, is in, but not there yet. So we need just give to them time. We cannot rush that. That ball will look completely different after the international break, but until then we have super important games. So we have solutions for our situation, just not available in the moment, and that's why we need to sort it in a slightly different way. And this is always an opportunity. You can always play it like that. It's a way Chelsea, the perfect moment to do it. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, it's a way you, in a lineup, in a setup, you can definitely play and win football games. And so, yes, everybody will benefit from a player whose first idea is to protect everything what we do offensively. He's involved in offensive stuff, but then has the heart, the desire, and enjoys that as well to clean up behind them. So, and of course that will be helpful, clear.
Chelsea and Bournemouth, different teams, different personnel, but one area of concern, I think last week, and you will have looked at the game, it is in wide areas defensively. You came under a lot of pressure down Liverpool's left in the first half, down Liverpool's right in the second half. What can you do to kind of alleviate that difficulty?
Keep the ball. It's the best way. Keep the ball is the best way. You always, with the quality in the Premier League, there are always players who have there, whoever it is. But it's Chelsea, I'm not sure we would, this room together could now find out all the options they have with speed and technique on the wing, for example. So, in a situation, it was the setup they found. Then a little bit later, they suffered with that a lot in the beginning. We could have scored a second goal. The high position of Chilwell, as an example, caused them real problems. Colby found a way into the game, found a way to control more a bit better. But it's always, it's like an up and down, and you use little weaknesses here and there. It's much too early to talk about a weakness on a wing or whatever. It's just there. You have to organize it in a specific way that the balls arrive there in a moment when you can, when you are prepared for it. And that is the case when you don't lose the ball in moments where nobody can react on it. Because that's a counter-attack then. In the moment you lose, you give the ball away, in a certain position, 5-6 players involved, bam, you give it away. And that was the first two situations they had in the game, I think, were after these kind of moments. And it's where you then still have the most players is the center, probably. That's why teams choose going down the wing, especially when you have the speed there. And that's why you struggle there from time to time. But that's not yet any kind of general problem or what we start discussing again just because we had at one point in any other season a problem there. It's all about the best way to defend is always to keep the ball. And we should have done that better. And we did that much better we worked a lot on it in our preseason games. That's really important. That is a challenge tomorrow as well, by the way, because they really press, they really go for it, and just being there calm and doing the right things, the right stuff, knowing you can lose the ball here and there, and do it again. Finding rhythm and then finding direction is one of the questions we have to answer for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Hi.
Wataru, kind of his football life always starts with really underestimated situation. But like for example, he didn't play Russia at all, but now he's a captain of our country. Do you think he can do that with you as well?
I said he's in his career, he's a late bloomer, definitely. And yes, he was definitely underestimated for a long time. That's clear, but he improved every year since he's on the proper football screen. It's really all that for a footballer. If you have your breakthrough with 23, 24, then the years before it's not wasted time or whatever. It's the preparation for all the rest of what is coming. And when he came to Europe, obviously, and even started Stuttgart, was not that easy. But then since he got the opportunity, he never gave it away and became the player he became. And now he has, I think, 50 games for Japan, and I don't know how many games for Stuttgart. So it's really it's important for me. When you see him now running around here, there's no chance that anybody would give him 30 years when you see him. Like, oh my God, is he allowed to drive a car? So, but on the pitch, obviously, he turns into a real monster. He wants to win balls. He wants to fight, all these kind of things. Plus, he's able to play football. How is that? He was on my screen for a long time already. And now for some reasons, we were able to do it. And I'm personally really happy about it. I cannot say it differently. I'm really happy. And now let's start working. So this club has obviously a tradition, not a real tradition, but we had one of the biggest LFC legends of my time, at least, with James Milner. He arrived here when he was, I think, 29. Not that anybody ever underestimated probably Millie, but probably people said in that time, I'm not sure, I was not here when he arrived, he came before me. Really, he's not a fixed lineup player here, there, blah, 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 but can play different positions. And I can tell you, without James Milner, nothing of the success we had in last years would have happened. One of the best players and characters I ever met in my life. And so that's fantastic. And Wataru is in a different way, obviously, but can have a similar impact. And so I'm really happy that he's here.
His one-to-one starts in Germany phenomenal, isn't it?
Sorry?
His one-to-one starts in Germany was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He won the whole battle.
Yeah. So how I said, you have to learn the game. Wherever you start and whenever it clicks. It's just in football, we close books much too early. If a player is 18 years old and didn't have, 10 Premier League games, and we say, will he really make it? And stuff like this. So that's the world we are living in. It's absolutely no problem, really no problem. My job is not really to explain or whatever. Our job is to make it happen on the pitch, and he will buy into that 100%. He's experienced enough. We will see how much time it will need to get used to what we do. But yeah, we need him, that's clear. And he wants to help from the beginning, and that's absolutely cool. I'm really happy that these kind of stories are still possible in this crazy world of football, to be honest. It really feels just right. It's all right. It's like, okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. And now let's go from here.
Thank you, Marcel. Any more for the open? James, last one.
Jurgen, you said it had been a tricky week. Has it become harder this summer to attract players to Liverpool, do you think?
I'm not sure if that's something to do with Liverpool, to be honest. And it's not too harder to attract. No, not to attract. That everything is more difficult. Everything. So there are reasons, and you all know them. The problem is just whatever I say now about that. You probably wrote it already, these kind of stories or not, but what I will say now about it. But it's really difficult. There are a lot of things what are different this year or since last year as well already. Some clubs have just a different way to do it, and nobody understands 100% how it works, but somehow so far it works. And that's, you have, as a normal club, it's really difficult to catch up with them. It's really like, wow, okay, well then go for it, and just watch it and what they are doing. That's fine. That's not my problem. I don't blame anybody. It's just how it is. The Saudi Arabia on top of that made things not easier. So we talk now about it, and our window ends in 31st of August. And then I think the window there is still open. So if the player's not happy or whatever, then they will come again or with even bigger offers. So I'm not sure 3 weeks ago anybody would have thought Neymar goes there, or 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago now he's there as well. Yes, it's much more difficult. Everybody is interested in the way, not everything was perfect, it's perfect. In this European football or wider football, the traditional, where the big leagues are, stuff like this, and it's not written in stone that always everybody has to watch to the Premier League, or everybody has to watch the Bundesliga or La Liga or blah. So it's absolutely fine if there grows another league. That's how it is. It's still football, and it's fine. We don't have the right to say that's not allowed. China tried it. USA maybe still trying. It's absolutely fine. It's no problem. But the endless money causes a problem. That's how it is, because we just sit here and okay, what can we do now? And it would be cool if somebody could find just a solution, a little bit regulation. I don't know. I have no time to think about it. I have obviously other things to do. But yes, it became more difficult, but not to convince players to go to Liverpool. I don't think so. 100%. If I would have called, I don't know, 1 million players, they all would have come here immediately. It's just we have to make sure that you go for the right ones from our point of view. Then for our timing is different than other timings, because we cannot just spend and have a look later. That's how it is, and it's all fine. It's absolutely fine. I sit here and I'm really happy with the transfer window in this moment. So our transfer window in this moment. And I know what happened last week, and I know how football fans are, and I know that they would prefer to bring in a player who is 110 or 150 or whatever million, and that your club can do that. That's kind of nice. But in the end, the pitch has the same size. The player will not grow with the money he costs. It's rather the other way around. So, I'm really happy for the moment. We will keep watching. We will keep looking. We will try with all we have to make the best decisions for this club. And then we will not use money or anything else as an excuse for 1 second. We will just go for it with all we have. And that's the idea. But now it's a transfer window, obviously, and that's why we talk about it. But it's fine. It's how it is. And we do it our way. And we are here and we are ready to fight.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the show. You're amazing. And if you want to signify your legendary status, then head over to redmenplus.com. Join as a legend tier subscriber. Not only you get all of the great video and podcast content, you'll also be entered into our monthly prize draw for great signed Liverpool gear. And you'll get access to our Discord as well, full of amazing Liverpool supporting human beings. Head to redmenplus.com and join as a legend tier today.